And so, like, I'd spent all of these years just, like, drifting around, and things hadn't been going well. But one thing was true, I never lost a fight up until that point. I'd always come out on top, and I'd always made sure I was doing really, really well. And then I was just in a bar one day, and there was this old guy in there, and he didn't harsh on me. Like, I started arguing with him, and then he literally beat me up with nothing but like a few twists and turns. It was absolutely crazy. Anyway, long story cut short, he then decided he was going to train me to be his protege. So I spent like 2 or 3 years just working with him. He was teaching me how to move, how to fight, how to use the sword, all of these kinds of things. And in the end, he allowed me to wear his old outfit, and I became the hero behind that for California. So yeah, it was a long time ago, but it was good fun nonetheless.
Oh man, that's. I don't know what that is. I gotta be honest.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How to use a sword, huh?
Yeah.
I could just picture you now with a sword.
Yeah, I mean, I actually stole a horse at one point as well, and used to ride around on that. We called it Tornado. It was good.
Mr. Petrov obviously knows what this is.
I don't know. I'd be surprised if anyone actually knows what it is, because I've not given too much away. But like, I'd be surprised if anyone knows what we are. If anyone can guess it, I'd be very surprised.
I'm genuinely curious. Quick shout outs to Octagon with the tier 1 before we went live. Thank you so much, man.
Nice.
And Noxygen with the Twitch Prime says yeet. We're yeeting.
Yeet.
We're yeeting today.
We're yeeting.
This is kind of a yeet day. We're sort of eating. That's true.
Yeah.
Mr. Petrov is actually one of the better ones, so he must know what it is.
Oh, Mr. Petrov, if you know, you have to say in chat. So here are the clues. No, it's not Monty Python. It is not Monty Python. So here are the clues. It's set in California. I steal a black horse named Tornado, and an old man beats me up inside the bar when I'm drunk. Those are the 3 clues you got from the story. Does anyone know what the film is? Like, it's not the Long Ranger or the Lone Ranger, which I think you meant.
Is this an older one?
Real Big Boss. There you go. He's got it. Mask of Zorro.
Oh, okay. The Mask of Zorro. I don't think I've seen
it. Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Anthony Hopkins. That's the film. The Long Ranger is something my wife and I watched the other night.
It's the X-rated parody, if you will. Not Captain Underpants, that's for sure. Oh my god. That one Brody says, just got my JO2 in the mail. It's amazing. I've been seeing a lot of nice JO2 pictures lately.
Yeah, there's been some great pictures, build streams. I've seen loads and loads of stuff like that. And guys, keep sharing it, keep tagging me in posts everywhere, because I love to see it. It's great. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
When can we hear the Lost Legends of Quakeums? You guys aren't ready yet. One day you'll be ready, but today is not that day.
Lost Legends of Quakeums. That sounds like a good.
Don't worry, it's a really boring story.
It sounds like a good time. It sounds like it's going to be a really good time.
If it involves me, you never know. You never know. Oh man. All right, I guess we're actually a little late. We can sort of start now. I say start.
Yeah,
like,
we can start.
Use that term loosely. Basically, what that means is I'm about to roll the intro.
It's an interesting. What did you title it? Oh, we're literally just chatting. Yeah, that's a good way of titling this stream.
Yeah, let me run. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm gonna run the intro. Then we're gonna talk about that. All right, now I rolled the intro. We're good to go. So, guys, basically, this is we're just chilling today. We're just chilling. We were going to try something a little different today, but that's going to be saved until next week, and it should be pretty darn interesting. But yeah, so we're just kind of hanging out today. We're just kind of being chill, being lazy, and hopefully you guys you're in the mood to just kind of relax. Got some music going. I don't have tea because I forgot to make some before the stream. Which is really unfortunate, but yeah.
I have brewing, but no coffee today.
You have the classic. I had a cup of coffee before the stream, but
nice.
That's about as far as I got. I forgot to make some tea, sadly.
And
So,
James, thank you very, very much for the 18 months of Twitch Prime subscription. 18 months, man. 18 months.
that's a lot of months. That's a lot of months.
That's a huge amount of months. Yeah. That's not a small number of months. That's getting up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, guys, we're just kind of chilling and interacting with chat today. So like, what are you guys up to? What do you guys want to talk about? I think it's really nice to have a focused topic and such, but it's kind of nice sometimes just to hang out and chill as well. I recently watched some extra chill streams where people weren't really doing anything, and I honestly thought it was some of the better content I've seen in a while, just because everything felt so much more like natural. I guess, I don't know, the interaction seemed a lot more interesting. So hopefully trying to portray some of that here as well. So
yeah, I think just having a nice relaxed chill out stream, ease ourselves into the weekend, take Poet's Day quite literally. That's what life's about.
So yeah, so tell us, guys, what's going on in your keyboard lives right now? What is how you guys feeling about the hobby? I feel like the hobby is kind of polarizing right now, and a lot of people are kind of handling it in different ways.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think the hobby is kind of changing. And I'd be interested to see how people think about it.
The hobby is full
of surprises and comebacks. Who's come back? Who's come back?
Is that a comebacks? Is that like a reference to like Muted? Since GMK
I think
Muted?
It might be. I think it might be. Nerd goes full Muted and he says, I feel a little annoyed since people are not including Mod Tilda and Hype and Key set. That now, if I've ever seen a Muted 2 reference, that is.
Yeah, is that like becoming more of a thing? Are other sets also omitting those keys? Or is it just GMK Muted 2?
I think there's a couple of others. I don't keep up with interest checks much as I used to.
Same.
I don't. But I'd be interested to see if other sets are doing this as well.
I says Serica and Nautilus round 2, both omitting them. Interesting.
Yeah. I know that they're both live now. I wonder, is this a Zamon inspired kind of thing? Is that kind of area?
I suppose it could be. I'm looking at the Serica page right now for Serica 2, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It does indeed omit those keys. Man, that's kind of unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, I guess they had to have expected it, right? If you omit those keys, like, you're going to get some semblance of backlash, right? Like, there are people that fundamentally like use those keys like on all of their I'm one of them. I will pass on a set that doesn't have those keys just because I think that the symmetry for colors actually looks better if you do have those keys.
Sure. I mean, it kind of doesn't affect me because I use ISO, so those kind of keys aren't massively an issue. Like ISO enter is always a mod-colored key, so it takes that area as a mod-colored key. You can see here, like all of this column here is mod-colored.
Yeah.
So it always does look a little bit strange when I do say ANSI layouts and you have the alpha-colored one there. But I guess that's tradition, right? The tradition there is to use the alpha-colored one.
For sure. And I mean, it's correct. It's quote-unquote correct, right? Because it is an alpha, and thus should be colored that way. But I don't know. I've never really been sold on that. Because if you look at things like, look at monochrome sets, look at white on black sets, black on white sets, stuff like that. Like, you have the same color mods as alphas. Like, does that bother the same kind of people that can't stand mod colored tilde and pipe? Like, I've always been curious about that. Lunar Sama subs 32 months in a row. Thank you so much.
That's kind of huge. 32 months.
He's been around
kind
for a
of
while.
huge. Yeah. Like how many babies is that? Like 9 months per baby?
I don't know. If I were smart, I could do 32 divided by 9, but
it's like at least 7.
It's like at least like 13. Yeah. It says hi, Brian and Jay. Hello to you as well.
Oh, hey man. Hey man.
Yeah, so how are you guys feeling about that? I'm actually really curious, because for me, like, I'm not trying to complain. Like, they're the designers, they're the vendors, etc. They can run the sets how they want. But for me, this is absolutely a deal breaker. I will not buy a set because of that. And I'm kind of curious to see if there are any others like that as well. Or
so
if,
are you not going to buy Muted R2 then, right?
I was planning on it, but no, not anymore. Because I use those 2 keys. Like, I actually use those 2 keys. I use a lot of HHKB layout, and I much prefer the color symmetry rather on the outside. So yeah,
I guess that leads me to a secondary point. If you don't buy either of those, will you use the money you were going to spend on something else, or will you just not buy a key set?
I'll probably just not buy a key set. I was interested in Serica as well, actually. Oddly enough, I didn't realize that it omitted those keys, so I'm probably going to pass on this one, or maybe try to pick up a secondhand set of the first run of Serica if they get cheaper because of this.
Yeah, I would say good luck with that, dude, but I don't think that will be the case. Sadly, Serica seems to be one of the ones that does very, very well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a good-looking set. I do think Serica is a cool set, absolutely.
So the Pokemon Kid says, I 100% not buy a key set, which does not include his version of this, which is proper UK ISO support in any of the kits. See, that's interesting to see as well. That's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
It's not at one point a lot of sets used to have UK ISO, and now it's kind of a lot fewer and further between. So.
Yeah. Dirty says, I understand Tilde and Pipe aren't mods, but in terms of aesthetic, it looks great, like you mentioned. Yeah, exactly. And I've always been curious about this, because, like, are the people that need those to be alpha colored, do they need them to be alpha colored so they know they're alphas? It's always been a fascination for me, and I used to get in arguments with Living Speedbump over this exact topic, because he's very traditionalist about it as well. He's like, no, like, monochrome sets are dumb, you know, because the alphas and the mods are the same colors. Like, it always bothers him, and like, you have to have alpha colored Pipe until then. I get the respect to tradition, but I don't know. I don't think it's completely necessary, and I don't know. It was interesting to me as well, because I think Krellbit said at one point when he announced that Muted was coming back and he was running it, he was saying that it's not going to have 2016 kitting.
But I think a lot of people took that to mean it was going to have better kitting, because it was quite limited kitting in round one, right? So,
no! Muted is a pretty dense kit for 2016.
See, I'm probably looking at it from a slightly different perspective, because I'm looking at it from a UK ISO perspective, which wasn't included in the original one. And I was hoping that it would have in this. Now, there is, I understand, an international kit, which I haven't looked at yet. But if there's an international kit, that is much better for me, because as long as it gets made, because, hey, I get the keys that I needed.
Yeah. John plus Ultra says, I agree, mod color looks nicer. Yeah. How many people are going to pass on a set that they otherwise would buy because of this? I would expect some people to probably pass on. I don't think it'll impact sales like super heavily. I think a lot of people will probably still buy it, and a lot of people that are bummed about it will probably still buy it anyways. Like, it probably won't make that enormous of a difference in the grand scheme of things, but for me, it's absolutely a deal breaker.
Yeah, I get that. I prefer to buy sets that have UK ISO, like Pokemon Kid mentioned earlier on. But I will buy some others as long as they have at least basic ISO, if I really like the set.
Yeah. Noxygen says, I don't use mod Pipe, but I definitely use mod Tilde, and it's still a deal breaker for me. Yeah. Interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it? It is. And I guess it kind of comes down to that question around where's this going to go for the hobby in the end. We've actually seen quite a few sets that got international kits or Nordic kits right now. Alpine isn't quite that has it. Mewtwo is coming back, has it. You know, it's nice to see that sets bringing back Nordic and international. That is.
Yeah, I agree. AKB James says, if a set doesn't have the specific keys that I want for my preferred layout, I just don't buy it. There's no point in getting upset over it, really. The world keeps turning, and there's always going to be other keys that I'll like. Absolutely. That's probably the best attitude to have with it as well. I mean, vote with your
Yeah,
wallet and move on with your life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. James is 100%. I think the only thing you can do is vote with your wallet. Like, if there's something you don't like about something, just don't pick it up, right? If it's not what you want, don't get it.
Yeah, see, that guy keyboards. James keyboards.
He does. He keyboards a lot. He keyboards very well as well. He's very good at keyboarding.
Nerdy says, I'm passing on it for sure. It no longer provides the aesthetic I was looking forward to having. Maybe more people than I thought will pass on it because of that. That's interesting. I wonder how much money it actually saves to omit those 2 keys from the base kit. Like, is it really that big of a difference?
Like, I don't think that's a fair way of looking at it. Like, in terms of cost, like the keys aren't going to cost much themselves. I guess there comes a limit as to where you want to price a base kit, right? As vendors, you know what sells and what doesn't sell. So you hit a limit, and at that point it becomes an exercise in reduction, trying to get the number of keys down, support that price limit. And how you get there is a different journey for a key set. So at that point, you're starting to exclude whether it be UK ISO or ISO in general, or the mod keys that we're talking here, the tilde type, or whatever it is, or having seven different versions of caps lock, or whatever that kind of premise is, whatever that kind of compromising you make trying to get the set to the level is going to be different design. So.
Sure.
I think that's a fair way of looking at it. It's like what's being sacrificed to get the kit as it is today, and that seems to be the mod tilde pipe. And is there something that would better sacrifice those? I think that's a fair way of looking at it.
Okay.
Just from a vendor.
Do you think that would ever be something that you would do with the key set that you were running?
I always talk to the designers about the key sets that we run, and I always kind of try to understand their reasons for certain key selections or certain kit layouts or breakdowns, and the conversation happens in a whole, usually between most vendors or between the lead vendor and designer, and the idea is, do we want to try and make this all company based, or do we want to try and make it cheap possible? Usually there's a goal there, and you kind of try and fit key sets to that goal. And then that's where you start to compromise. So either add keys or remove keys, and then you decide if a 40 kit's not going to work, well, do I take keys out of the 40 kit, put them in the base kit to give some base coverage, or do I just forego those people altogether? And it's just a whole raft of different compromises. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer, but I think it's not a straightforward, it's only $1 to add these keys in, or whatever the price be. It's more of a question.
Yeah, that's totally fair. As someone that isn't behind the scenes of any of that stuff, I can only look at it from like I'm an entitled consumer look, and give me the keys that I want, and I don't want to come across that way, but it is
as a consumer, I do exactly the same. Have you that's the first question I always ask when I look at it.
Yeah.
And the answer is no. It's probably not really going to look at it unless something really changes my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jay Saints, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime, man. 9 months. Appreciate that, Jay Saints. Always a pleasure to have you around, man. Yeah, you were cutting out in and out a little bit. I wasn't sure if it was your mic or your noise gate.
It could be just a little bit further away from my normal.
Sure.
Let me get the noise gate open. I'll monitor it.
A real big boss says, it bothers me, but I'll probably just slap a 1.5 backspace there. So he would use normal backspace, and then also the 1.5U backspace just to achieve that aesthetic color.
See, that would bother me if the legends were the same. If they both said, if they were both text, for example, and they both said backspace or some variation, or if they both had the same icon, that would bother me. If they were slightly different, so backspace key would say, I don't know, text and icon, and then the HKB backspace icon, I'd be more comfortable with that. But I do not like to see two of the same legend on board. That does bug me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that someone would have to do that as well. Although I guess, I mean, that's at the end of the day, it's a really minor complaint, and the people that don't get ISO in a lot of their sets have it a lot worse. So this is just us used to being privileged with our compatibility in key sets, and now we're getting a taste of what a lot of others already have. Streaking Bison says, I'm still in on it as I've wanted it for a long time, but not thrilled with the response to the questions. D Nasty says, I like to have symmetry on my board. Tati says, I won't go as far as passing, but I agree it does look better. Interesting.
Yeah, so some real mixed points on this one. It's interesting to see how you guys think of it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ooh, very
Oh, here we go. Nerdy says, the original set had the keys. This is such a hype set that so many people want it and we're looking forward to getting. Now the runners are omitting keys based on their preference. They're not the designers, just the ones given permission from the designers to run it again. That's an interesting point as well. I mean, you're right in the fact that it is arguably one of the most hype sets, the community's ever seen, and how long have we been waiting for a round 2? It's probably the most asked for round 2 key set in history. And, to start omitting keys like that in a set that has that much hype behind it, that many people, were planning on buying it, is an interesting choice. Maybe on lesser sets, I use the term lesser as, a loose term, but on sets that will obviously not sell nearly as well, sets that are not nearly as hyped, it might have been an interesting experiment. But it's interesting that they're using muted to do this as well. This is kind of a trend that we're just seeing started, and this is the set. This is the big set that we're seeing it on.
I'm gonna phrase a question here, and I'm phrasing this question to play devil's advocate, but
fun.
So bear in mind that this doesn't necessarily equate to my thoughts or feelings or anything else. I'm playing devil's advocate. I want to see what you guys think of this. But is there a chance that an interest check has been posted, not mentioning any particular ones, with some fundamental choices hitting that we've been known to be causing some kind of controversy to create conversation?
Ooh, very nice.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a marketing tactic.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying anyone's doing this. I'm not saying that
Interesting.
The case for any of these to discuss today, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone did want to do that at some point, or did try that at some point. I know when we saw Olivia round 2, and that was going to happen. The IC for the first day or so just had a couple of bits of text, no renders, nothing. It was just a couple of lines of text. Olivia round 2.
It got removed, didn't it? She had to.
I don't know if it got removed or if it then had to be refreshed out or locked or whatever. But stuff like that does happen. People do play into the hype market. I just wonder if people think that's. Is driving conversation by creating some kind of controversy that you intend to fix and you're doing it purposely? Is that something people might do? I don't know.
I don't know. I think. Oh, man, that's hard to say. I feel like that can't be the case because Serica is currently running without those keys, and
sure. So
it's not like they could pull a flip at the end and be like, okay, never mind, we're adding those keys. They could, but at this point, I'm not seeing that. I don't think that's going to happen. But that's a really interesting thought experiment.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Thought experiment, because I think you're right. I think in this instance, I think it's been a designer choice or adventure choice, whatever it has been. But it does open the question: would people come out with some sort of interest check that has really fundamental controversial points within it, purely to drive controversy and drive conversation?
Yeah, I'm a little worried though. If this starts becoming the norm, I feel like I'm gonna have to pass on a lot of sets, which is another really privileged thing to say, I guess. But I mean, this community is expert at splitting hairs and complaining over minute details. It's very much a luxury hobby, so obviously take the things that we say with a grain of salt as well.
Yeah, and bear in mind we are sometimes devil's advocate with these questions.
A lot of the times
we've got sort of feelings. They're just trying to generate conversation and trying to stimulate understanding more than anything. Deported village idiots. It might be a good way to challenge the status quo. Interesting. Yeah, I guess you could challenge the status quo with that. And I guess someone else as well. No such thing as bad publicity. Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And I guess I kind of believe that as well. But I don't know. It just feels like doing that would be a disservice to not just yourself, but also the product selling. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Quick shout outs to a few subs that we got. OEW, Tier 1, 17 months. Streaking Bison, Prime for 3 months. And Gulvin just subbed for his first time with Switch Prime. So thank you so much, guys.
Nice. Thank you. And especially to Gulvin as well for giving us that first ever Twitch sub. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the family. We have pizza. All right,
we did have pizza a couple weeks ago.
But that's true.
My wife still doesn't know about that.
We won't tell her, Jay. Don't worry. We won't tell her.
Streaky Bison says, no, there are different ways to surprise the numbers for GMK fundamentals that has mod colours. Yes, GMK fundamentals, I think it's pretty well, to be honest. It's one of those sets really basic, doesn't appeal to everyone. But I think it's done pretty well. And you have to bear in mind the time of year it's running as well. It's right before Christmas. Key sets are not necessarily number one on people's minds. There are some very big sets about to run. Sarah Round 2, Muted in the New Year, so, you know, completely understand how things.
Yeah, I think fundamentals actually look really good.
It does, yeah. I bought two sets of it because it's just
yeah, it's a nice looking set.
Gulvin also says, I didn't think I'd like GMK 9009, but it's just great. 9009 is a classic set. That's a really good set.
Yeah, absolutely. Classics are classics for a reason.
Absolutely.
Everyone is saving monies for Greg. Oh my! That's not running, is it?
Yeah, it's running.
Is it?
Yeah, it's running.
All right then.
Yeah, it's running on my keyboard. I've already been asked if I'm going to be a VK event for it, and I kept saying no one's asked me, so I'm not. That's as simple as it gets that one.
A real big boss says, yeah, I already have Lunar, Ashes, and Noir on the way, so I couldn't justify another neutral set right now. Yeah. Hey, man, I like neutral sets. Big fan of having neutral sets. They work on any color board a lot of the time, which is fun.
Yeah, neutral sets are great. Lunar Summer says, I like how Muted is offering R5 as separate kits. I wish 9009 or the older rerun sets would run R5 kits as separate. I love R5. Like, if I could choose to have any bottom row, it would be an R5 bottom row. But I agree, I think sometimes it's better to have it separate or to include an R4 and an R5 bottom row in the base kit. Thinking. What sets have had that recently? TA90 had it.
In the base
kit?
kit?
Not in the base kit as an extra kit.
Oh,
I think Dolch by Lightning ran Dolch a month ago. That had it as well.
That sounds right, yeah. 9009 round 3 had it in the base. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool to see. I agree. I think row 5 is fantastic. Especially for those classic colorways.
Yeah, it is good.
Could you imagine Honeywell row 5?
I would snap that. I mean, fundamentals Honeywell like to me anyway. That's just different color modifiers. That's how I see the base kit. Because I use Honeywell without any X colors. Like Honeywell just as base colors is like perfect. And fundamentals Honeywell light in that set. If you ignore the color change, the axes, the base kit.
Sure.
Yeah. Tata J says GMK Muted Retro is on sale now as well. Yeah, so I saw this on Originative, and they've got GMK Muted Retro right as GMK Muted R2 is going to run. It's interesting how those two sets are going to play off each other as well. I'm not sure which people pick. And now, out of interest, does anyone know, is the mod-colored tilde and pipe keys in the Oko set?
I'm looking right now. It does have mod-colored pipe and tilde. But it also has.
But it's not muted.
It also has text mods. It's also not muted. That's true. But it also has text mods, and I really think that muted. Oh man, muted looks so good with icon mods. I love it.
Yeah, muted versus muted retro. That might be a question. Because round one muted, I don't have board with. Round one muted, just icons, right?
Let me grab it because it should be right behind me. I think. Yes, here we go.
No, it's gonna take ages to check.
Yeah, so this is icon mods.
It's just icon, right?
Yeah, I mean it has like the standard.
Entities. On the enter, it's got the.
Yep, icon on the
okay.
icon only on
Icon
enter,
okay.
and the shifts and stuff. Normal bottom row though. It's not the.
Yeah, I thought it had text and icon on the enter key. I really.
It's one of the reasons I like muted so much. Is because like the idea for me, like muted was kind of supposed to be like not just a neutral set, but it was supposed to be kind of like an homage to classic sets, but just brought up to being like more modern. And to me, icon mods feel a lot more modern.
Rabbit say, I agree. I prefer text and icons together. For most sets, I think depends on the set. Some sets absolutely suit one or the other. But for most sets, I do like text and icons together. Yes, I would.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's people that like icon mods, and then there are people that are wrong. So, kidding, of course. Preferences, as always.
Wait, we're allowed preferences in this hobby?
No.
I didn't know that was a thing.
No, you are not. You are not in particular.
Just me.
Yeah, it's just you. We're just picking on you now.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Rabbit Sensei says, "Someone shit my GMK Noel. You and me both, man." I forgot about that set actually.
How far is that? Key capital, right? That's like that.
Gosh, I
Let's
don't
have
know.
a look how far previous sets, filters.
What is the GMKQ at right now? Is it over a year right now?
So there's 80 odd kits in GMKQ, right? That's sets that have finished group buy and are awaiting production. About 8 sets. The list goes GMK Dracula. In order of oldest first to newest that haven't GMK Dracula, GMK Yugo, GMK Terror, GMK Toxic, GMK Copper, GMK Moondust, GMK Future Funk, GMK Hero, GMK Darling, GMK Metaverse, GMK Model Light. I think Final Things shipped. Then it's GMK Perestroika, GMK Apollo, Spirit is just about to ship. Then it's GMK Godspeed, GMK Zuyin, GMK Honey, GMK Terror R2, GMK Ashes, GMK Kaiju, GMK Luna, GMK Botanical, and then it's GMK Noel.
Well, all right then. People are saying Darling shipped already.
Okay, Darling. Okay, sorry, missed that one. Okay, fine. Yeah. So you can knock one off that long list. Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. So the rest of those have not been shipped or have not been made yet.
They haven't been shipped, so whether they've been made or not, I don't know. There's very few that I've been involved in any way, shape, or form. So as far as I'm aware, none of those are ready to ship. I have heard rumblings that Tower R2 is ready to ship, but that's significantly further in the queue than a lot of other sets. There's a lot of other sets that haven't shipped yet. So I don't know how true that is. Yeah. I mean, and that goes on. That only takes us up until April this year. That literally takes us until April this year. Everything that's run since April to now, which is what, 10 cents a month, that's still in the queue. There's about 80 sets haven't shipped ran this year.
Streaking Bison is asking where are the top Clack emotes. Crap. There's several of them in our Discord server. We just haven't put them in Twitch chat yet.
You need to do this. You need to get them. I know. I had people complaining to me on my build stream the week.
I'm
when
sorry.
we were doing a charity November stream about.
Yeah. The first one will absolutely, of course, be Jgasm. That's one of my favorite server emotes.
We can definitely put that up.
Yeah, it's a good one.
My keyboard received Terror today. Good. Nice. Glad to hear it.
Okay.
I have Terror on one. I actually got some really cool artisans today. Terror. I don't know if you like broke Brian. I'm going to show these off because I don't do mail days. I'm sure very often. But I did get some really cool caps in. I got a Froper arrow. It's really cool. And then I got another as well, which is this is a mortal robot. which is really cool as well.
Man, Brobot. That's a sculpt that's been around since like I've been in the hobby.
Oh
basically.
man, some of the early Brobots are really cool. I have some as well. I actually my favourite artisan is earlier on today as well. What this week? Sorry. Lost Highlight.
Oof, nice.
So nice.
Artisans sure have come a long way.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. There's some good stuff out there.
Streaking Bison is demanding the emotes. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I am so bad at Twitch. Like, legitimately, I'm so sorry, guys.
You do it this week. It could be your
that could be my homework.
Your homework. People asking me for artisans now. Nerdy Sale Trade is serious Fantasy 4. You like the Fantasy 4, do you? I have that somewhere. Hold on. I think I have that. I think I can show that.
Don't you have like all the Keyporas? Do you have a full collection?
No, I've got like 100, but there's like 300 or so. There's this Fantasy 4.
Heat Loss, thank you so much for the tier 1, man. 22 months. Thank you. Jay flexing on me, says Rabbit Sensei. 305 colorways of Keypora.
Yeah, so I've got about a third of them, and that's it.
Wow. Are you trying to get all of them? Or is it
no.
Okay.
Like there's just too many. Like there's just so many of like. Yeah. I mean, I have a box full of them here, and then I've got another box at home. So like this box is that full of them that it's actually like got stacked. So yeah.
Gwilad asks the question that we don't ask here. How much money do you think you spent on artisans? We don't talk about that. Okay? We don't talk about that kind of stuff.
Pass. Pass? I can't answer that.
I don't even want to think about how much money Jay has spent on artisans.
Like pass. I'm just gonna pass. The reason I'm gonna pass is because I have a book full of them here, and I've got some home as well. So I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea. I would guess somewhere in the region of $20,000. I guess. I don't know. That'd just be a guesstimate. I don't know.
Yeah, artisans not the cheapest thing of all time.
No.
Monday says thoughts on GMK Greg. Yes, I have thoughts on GMK Greg.
Yeah, there are thoughts available. Yes.
Yeah, it's not for me. Let's just
thoughts GMK Greg. We donate $100. There you go. That's how we're gonna play this game. We'll give open honest feedback on GMK Greg if you donate $100.
Oh my god, that's you're fishing hard there. No, don't. I don't like the set, but I can see why some people don't like the set. You don't need to donate $100 to get it. I mean, you can if you want, but no.
See, you are terrible at Twitch. This is what
I'm just not a hustler. I don't know. I would feel bad if someone donated $100 for an opinion on a GMK set. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I'm an asshole sometimes, but I just no. Gulvin is asking, is there a good loose key set holder like the GMK ones that hold GMK sets and extras? A lot of people like the harder plastic JTK trays. I see a lot of people using those. The Max trays, yeah, JTK Max. I don't think they hold like full sets plus extras though, right? Like you can get like some base kits in them, but like that's it, I think. So I don't know. I feel like the community as a whole doesn't really have a very good solution for holding key sets. Unless you're just like using GMK trays that they ship in, for example. I feel like, has anyone attempted like obviously we have a lot of like nice high quality premium artisan containers. Has anybody thought about doing a key set container in the same vein?
I think the thing is like if you're gonna get a key set container, you want it to be cheap. It needs to be $10 or so. Because if you have any more cost to it than that, it's not going to be worthwhile. because you can only store one key set. If you think about artisan containers, the value per artisan is very different. So if you have, I don't know, 20 artisans that you want to put in a container, and they're $100 each, that's $2,000. Doesn't seem too bad to spend, 10% of that on getting a nice artisan holder, right? $200 seems quite good, quite reasonable for something that's going to be milled from aluminium or whatever.
Sure.
Or polycarbonate, whatever material you pick. When you think about it for a single key set, like it has to be bigger than an artisan one, so it's going to be more expensive. So if it's going to be $200, $300 for a really artisanal key cap holder, and you can only fit one key set or part of one key set, it kind of feels no good. The only way anyone could really do it is someone starts to look at molded trays.
I was about to say, who's fronting for the injection molded?
No. It's no secret that a lot of vendors look at. I've looked at doing it. And it's not that it's cost prohibitive. I think the issue is that key sets, we talked about this earlier on, but key sets differ in their size all of the time. So trying to work out what would be the perfect key cap tray to hold the right number of keys and to make it stackable is kind of difficult. I do think that the new EPT trays and are pretty good at making that happen. They have 3 layers in there, and that's quite good. They've got the right amount of space. And I also think that the whatever you think key caps are Infinity, the packaging is really good because it has individual holders for each key cap, preformed. Again, 3 nice layers. I think there's something there. I think it just needs a slight tweak to get that out.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. I mean, the Infinity ones feel cheap, but you're right. It actually, as far as holding keycaps goes, it's pretty good.
IMO, the new ones as well, especially Brian, like the fully formed box and everything else, the new ones are better than the ones I've seen before. They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Nice. You love to see it. Keep on Me subs tier 1 for 4 months says hello. Hope everyone is having a great Friday. We hope you are as well. It's a super chill Friday for us, which is nice.
Absolutely. Clack as well with the raid. 22 people joined. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming. We really appreciate being here and joining us on the stream. As Brian was just saying, we're just having a really chill stream today. We didn't do the show on Thursday, our usual slot, so we're doing it a little bit early on Friday. Ready to celebrate the weekend and just ease in nicely that weekend kind of situation.
Yeah, our usual time slot is, of course, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, and it has been for years, but we're kind of testing out a new time slot, seeing what an earlier time on Friday works for everyone. I know, obviously, time frames are really finicky for a lot of people, and, there's no single time frame that works for everyone, so some people are always going to be happy, and some people are going to be upset, and a lot of people probably won't care. But, yeah, we're just trying to test this out.
I have noticed that in the past 2 weeks we've been doing, have been getting a lot more of the EU names in stream as well.
Which is cool.
That's really good.
Yeah. I mean, the main show has always kind of been tailored to US viewers, which is kind of unfair for other people. So, maybe we can try this out for a while, then, we'll see how it goes for a few weeks, and we'll maybe put up a poll and maybe add another 1 or 2 time slots and just kind of see what people are interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good for me sometimes because it means I don't have to stay up until 2 a.m. to start the stream.
Yes.
And then go to bed at like 5 a.m. when we finish it. So
yeah,
it's good for me.
I figure, maybe after a couple years of being really mean to Jay, we should maybe not do that anymore. I don't know. We'll see, right?
We'll see.
Stray Chroma, welcome. Glad to have you. Says, literally just got my JTK Max tray. It's huge.
The Max trays are really good, actually. I'm a big fan of. I actually got the JTK box in today.
I like how we're both reaching for things simultaneously, which might be the first time it's ever happened on a stream.
We've done it before.
So what are these? Someone sent me these a while back. Are these JTK trays?
They look very similar. This is Vostok in a JTK Max tray. Looks very similar. I don't know if it's identical. It looks very similar. Same sort of idea.
Kind of has these little slidey.
Yeah.
I haven't used. Are these Max trays? Or are these like a
Sorry,
different
these are standard ones. The max trades are slightly different. These are standard ones. The max trades are different. I'm calling it a GT train. It's not. But the good thing about these, and what I like most about these, is that these are actually stackable. So you can actually stack more than one together, and they kind of like interlock, so that you can just stack multiples up, and it's going to be just fine. So they're pretty good. Also, Vostok is so nice in real life. It came out really well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was commanding quite a premium on the aftermarket too, from what I've seen, which is fascinating to me for a JTK set.
Yeah. I was really impressed with it. Yeah, the max ones are huge. Sorry, I apologize, guys. Yeah, these are JTK. The max ones are like a lot bigger.
D Nasties says we need at least one troll set per year. We had Honda bait. 2021 is Greg. You know what? I'm okay with that. I have nothing against troll sets, honestly. I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. I probably won't buy it, but I think it's fine to like see that kind of fun stuff.
What other troll sets we had? What other troll sets?
Well, I mean, look at all the sets that were April Fool's jokes that came to fruition. We had GMK Hamon, GMK Dots. Was Enjoy PBT Cool Kids? I think that might have been an April Fool's joke.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Chad will probably bring up another one or two sets that I'm forgetting.
I don't think Redacted was a April Fool's. I think that was like a serious thing. Always intended to run.
Yeah, that was teased before April Fool's at the time, so I think that was already in the works.
Rabbit says it's Tai T, GMK Tai T. Yeah,
Tai T right now. How about GMKB?
Did that get made?
Oh, it got made. Ray just got his like a week or two ago.
Nice.
So I think it's either shipped or currently shipping. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of joke and meme sets, and I think it's fine. I think it's kind of fun and whimsical, right? Like, not every set needs to be serious. I understand that. I'm okay with that. Chuletas subs at tier 1 for 9 months. His first top Clack baby. He's giving birth. It says 9 months of chillin' and now of epic beards. Cheers, boys.
Yeah. I finally got a slot at barbers next Thursday, so next week. So this is not coming off, but it's going to get properly shaved and trimmed nicely. And I'll be able to stop wearing the hat as well, because my hair is like down here. So
I like the hat.
Yeah, so the hat will go, and my hair will. But it's just too long to do anything.
Honestly, I think the hat, glasses, beard trifecta is a good look on you, Jay. I really think so.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. The beard's huge.
It's you can pull it off though. Your beard is like really dense. It's good. It's good.
It's really. I didn't think I could grow a beard. I thought it was gonna be patchy, but it's not at all. It's like kind of crazy.
Yoso Yez says Ziploc bags are goated. Yeah, I mean that's mainly what I use too. I don't really use trays. GMK trays, I get rid of them basically as soon as I get the keycaps out. Even the new ones, they take up too much space for me. A plastic bag is just way more space efficient, albeit less elegant. But for me, that's fine because I'm never gonna take a set off of a board and individually place keycaps back in their proper spot in a tray. I use too many boards and too many key sets, and I swap around too much for that to be like even remotely a thing.
Sure.
If I had
people make GMK trays, but I struggle with that. Especially new ones that stack very well, they collapse really easily, that's over time. So 8008, that tray came in really good edition. It was cracked, it was the first one I got in the new GMK trays. And now when I look at it, it's starting to turn powder all over. So I've actually just invested in a ton of lockable tubs that I found really good supply for. Local, UK manufactured, UK made. And if they're really good, I'm actually going to stock them on the site as well. So because I can have customized factory. But I've just invested a hundred of these tubs, so they're really good. Stackable lock-up tubs. That's the future.
Yeah. See, that's something that would be really interesting to me as well. I was kind of in the market, and I was searching around, I was looking on like the Container Store and Amazon and such, and I found some good options, but I didn't really find any that I wanted to buy, because I want to buy like 25 to 50 of them like at once, and I didn't really see any that jumped out at me quite that well. But I do like
these ones that I've got two like little locking handles on the side, lids come off, and I've got two different sizes of them depending on whether it's full kit or add-on kit. Yeah, I think it's really going to work for me. Like storage-wise, it's really.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The only way I think I would ever use like normal trays to display and actually put the keycaps in the correct order in the trays, the only way I think I would ever do that is if I only had like 1 to 3 sets maybe, and it was like a much more important. But when you have like 25 sets, like you just want to put them in a bag and throw them like in a drawer or in a box or something, like for the ones you're not using. It's just it takes up too much space otherwise. Someone in chat says they were collecting like the trays and the banderoles and stuff. I think that's totally fine. That's a really good reason. I just don't have the space. If I did have the space, I would probably do the same, honestly, because a lot of the banderoles are really cool. Like it's almost like a collector's item itself, which I think is really fun.
The banderoles are great. Yeah, the banderoles are nice. Even when I move up to subs, I don't want to get rid of them. I'll still keep the banderoles. I'll just store them separately.
Definitely. John Plus Ultra says, "This is my first Top Clack stream. Very nice atmosphere. Good job, guys. Comfy. Thank you so much."
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, we just want to be comfortable today and nice and chill and just relax. That's the end game.
Comfy is like the biggest compliment I think I could be given for a stream like this, because that's exactly how I want it. I mean, there's a lot of,
very nice.
Higher caliber, like more tense, more, energetic streamers. But man, we're just getting old. We just want to chill and talk about, keyboard stuff and sometimes other stuff. And, every now and then we'll play a game or have some topics. But we just like it free flowing, right? Like it feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, no more news show, right? That's the trick. That's how it makes it nice. No more news show.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. And now, what's funny now is, in no disrespect to any streamer that has been doing the news lately, because I know a lot of people have been doing it, and it's, Merlin's been very successful at it. But like, I watch people like Merlin and DD Decline, and they're doing their news shows, and like, it just doesn't even look that fun because of like everything that goes on behind the scenes. I don't know.
We just have that insider information. That's what it is. We've done it. We've been there. We've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess nobody was doing it to the same degree that we were, because we were trying to cover like everything, and then the community just exploded, and then all of a sudden we just couldn't because there was too much stuff. And people, I think, are kind of toning it down a bit. Like, I know Merlin does like specific, like he'll do like five topics, like 5 group buys or something, 5 interest checks.
Yeah, I think the issue we had was because we started off and it was easy to fit everything in week. Certainly when you started TC off before I joined, it was easy to cover everything that was happening in week, because there might be a couple of keyboard buys and then there might be a couple of key set buys. By the time I joined, it was like there would be guaranteed 2 of each every week. But now, in interest group buys, there is 10 or 15 in each every week. And you just can't cover that. And I think the biggest hurt to me, the most painful part wasn't all the prep work we did or checking the topics or anything else, getting up at 2 a.m. It was people being disappointed that we didn't cover their topic.
Oh yeah,
because you just couldn't cover everything.
Every week it was like, hey, can you talk about my set? Can you promote my set? And it's like, that's not why we're doing it, right? Like it's all about information. It's fundamentally all about information and opinion and like giving our thoughts on stuff. Like, it was never about like promoting sets. I mean, obviously the sponsor stuff is a little bit different, but like we have a very obvious and specific sponsor section that we call it as such, and so you guys know it's a sponsored thing. But like, if we're talking about a random key set interest check, that's promotion is not what we're trying to do there.
Yeah, absolutely. And JS, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much for that, dude. JS with the 500 aged bits. Aged is a good way to put it. Like a good old
yes.
That trick.
Yes.
And Dub, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'm actually a little far back in chat. I should probably catch up here soon, but I do see that Derping Dumbo also says a keyboard is a great keycap set holder. That's the big phrase right there. You just instead of having a tray, you just buy another keyboard, put the key set on it, bam, show it off.
But then you end up in a situation where you don't have enough key sets for keyboards, and then you have to buy more key set. And then you have too many key sets, so you buy more keyboards.
Well, you know, it's a
Wait,
vicious,
I don't see a problem.
it's a vicious cycle, but you know, someone's got to do it, and apparently all of us have to. So
Good solution. I like. I'm not seeing any negatives. He also asks a question. His first time catching the show. Thanks man for joining. And this is just ordered the Mode 8. How do you guys like that one? So I bought Mode 8 as well, and I built a stream a couple of weeks ago. You can check the VOD out on YouTube. That's the YouTube. I had to think about that. I was going to say Twitter for a second. I don't know why. But my genuine thoughts on it are it's not a bad first board. There are some good things about it. I like the fact that they take attention to detail, the quality of the machining. I like the way the case assembles. There are some negatives. I don't like the reliance on foam. I don't like the mounting solution. And I don't like plate cutouts that they've done. And I don't like ISO. Other than that, I think fundamentally there is a lot of potential within that board. With just slight tweaks, it could be really good. So I don't know which version you bought, but it has a lot of potential, and I think I'd like to see more from the Mode guys. I genuinely hope they didn't see my figures as overly negative, because I didn't need it at all. But I think there's a lot of potential within what they have, which just needs to more. And it kind of had the feeling that it was done by people who maybe didn't understand the intricacies of some of the finer details and some of the tiny points that are generally more important to the hobbyists. So lots of learning points, but not a bad board at all.
Yeah. There's a lot of build streams of the Mode 80 out there too. I've seen a lot of build streamers lately building those. So there's, you have a lot of reference points if you want to check out kind of multiple angles. And
just full disclaimer on this one. They did offer to send me one to build on stream, but I felt like if I got it free, I might be compromised on that. Or if I was getting it build and then it might be compromised my opinion, so I just bought it outright. I just felt like that was a better way for me to justify, if I'm putting my personal money behind this, what's my real thoughts, and that might be where my opinion comes from a little bit. Because I paid like $700 for the first edition. So
that's a good point, actually. Sometimes it's hard to get an exact personal opinion unless you actually lose out on that money, right? Unless that money actually leaves your account.
And someone, I think it was actually Robert Sensei asked on the stream. They said, "Do you feel disappointed you spent money on the board?" And this is for me, this is a litmus test. This is a really good test to say, is the board worth it or not? And you know what? I don't feel like I missed out on spending money on it. I don't regret spending money on it. I think it's okay. I do think that for the version I would make changes to it. I would change the mounting system. I'd remove the reliance on foam. I'd stop doing PVD on bases. That's personal thing. The PVD is actually really good quality, but stop doing PVD. But there's some really good design features. And the way the board boards together is really nice. I genuinely like that. Yeah.
Cryptoid says, if Comfy is old, catch me on the boomer sphere.
I feel that, man.
I'll meet you there, buddy. I'll meet you there. Life is too short not to be comfortable, most of the time, right? Let's be real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr.
Tetra coming out with big long question here. He says, are there any other unrelated hobbies or industries that you kind of feel keyboards could still draw from innovation, e.g. material science, musical instrument science, etc.?
Great question.
Yeah. So materials, 100%. There are so many materials out there that we don't use for a variety of reasons, and they could be good or they could be bad. It needs someone to take that leap of faith to try it. There is a list of stuff that I want to try. I have samples of materials in drawers. I have samples of materials, things I want to try using, which people have not used before, and it just takes a leap of faith to try it. So material science is 100%. Musical instrument, absolutely. I think so. The idea behind the JO1 and the JO2, and I'm going to wax lyrical a bit. I apologize. But the idea behind the JO1 and the JO2 is to have an acoustic cavity inside, and that was inspired by a lot of classical instruments. So if you think of a violin or a guitar or whatever else, instrument, like a stringed instrument, they have cavities inside, and that's allow the harmonics to work, right? They're generally made of wood, which is a warmer sound, but hey, theories translate. So I think there's definitely some interesting things I want to look at from that perspective. Woodwind instruments really give me some kind of ideas and things I'd like to try. But I think there's a whole raft of other things in the world that take inspiration. For example, cars.
It's almost limitless, right?
Innovation. Yeah, there is a
like
ton
almost
of
anything that you can think of. Like we might be able to take some kind of inspiration.
Absolutely. Yeah. The motor industry is a huge one. I think we should be looking at. I think they do some really cool stuff with manufacturing designs, implementations, things like that. Shapes in particular. Some of the shapes you see in cars, if you kind of break things down, I think that could be huge for the hobby. There's a couple of other areas as well. So I think construction is a really interesting one. The way that we build buildings with different materials, we have different functions. I think that's something we could explore more as well.
In a similar question, actually, D Nasty's asking, what do you think are the upcoming innovation for keyboard hobby? So what are the next big things going to be?
The return of top mount. 2021 will be the return of top mount keyboard. I'm calling it now.
That's not innovation though, because we already have that, right?
No, it's true. I'm just I think I actually said that on the unpopular opinion stream we did a couple of weeks ago that top mount was going to come back in a big way.
The top mount never left.
Yeah.
I feel like they're
didn't it?
Well,
didn't it?
I don't feel like it did. I don't feel like it did.
Didn't it? Okay.
I feel like
everything was Gasket.
Yes, Gasket was obviously pretty big. But like we're also putting out like more designs and more boards than we ever have before, and I think we are getting a lot of top mount designs. But you're right. I mean, percentage-wise, the amount of top mount boards to overall boards is much less now than it used to be. And sure, you could absolutely say that is, because of gasket mount a lot of the time.
Yeah, in terms of other innovations, I think we will see. Okay, so there's going to be two things. I think places to watch for innovation. The 40s is good. Like the 40% guys, they come out with crazy stuff. They had OLEDs and rotary encoders way before the Satisfaction Survive made.
True.
So that's a really interesting place to watch. I think in terms of other things, screens and keyboards are going to become a little bit more available. Try to be careful here. Think boards like the old GMK and Cherry Waytech boards. I think things like that might make a little bit of a comeback. As well, but in kind of more modern twist. I've seen some people talk about it. I've talked to some people about it. I know some people working on it actively. So that's going to be some we'll see innovation in the next couple of years. Maybe not next year, but maybe the year after. And I still don't think we're done with mounts. I think there is so much more you can do with mounts and stuff that we haven't even tried yet. So
I mean, obviously, you're working with the Lodestone, a really cool upcoming board. I think magnets have a lot of potential in our hobby, and I think there could be a pretty high potential to see some like magnet mounting solutions. Like, I don't know.
There's more than one way to do it. I have prototypes more than one way to do magnet mounting. Some work better than others. So yeah.
Like I would like to see. I would like to see a board, like a magnet-mounted board, and like you could use gaskets or whatever if you need to, but like a board that has the plate PCB assembly mount via a magnet, and like the board comes together via a magnet as well, but like have it be like towards an entry-level price. Like it doesn't have to be like a super premium offering. And that way people could just have like a bunch of different plate and PCB builds, and they could literally just like pop the top off their board, pop out the plate PCB assembly, swap it another one, put the top back on, and go. And like you're just I think that'd be really cool.
I love the enthusiasm, but I will be honest with you. The build process for magnet boards is not as simple as that.
For sure.
Because you're using using repulsion forces. And the interesting thing about Mekanisk is that the waves that they give off, the magnetic kind of fields that they generate, are not static. They change and move slightly. So you have twists and movements, and you have to kind of apply pressure in the right place to put them together. And it's not as easy as
I'm sure it's not.
Introduce magnet mounting, as in sealing the board together and issue screws. You kind of have magnetic fields overlapping magnetic fields, and that can reduce or increase output depending on what you do. There's a whole series of equations, like the amount of math I did for Lodestone to try and work out which size, how far. All of that kind of stuff was kind of intense. Like I was going back through A-level physics courses to try and work out some of it. It was really fun. But it's really complex. But I think there's a load of simple stuff that could be done that isn't done right. I'm not going to give away any secrets, but there's a lot of stuff I have ideas for. I have kind of like wacky drawing boards. It's a bit like Wacky Races TV show. If you remember that with all the crazy cars, I have like a book full of drawings. I'll try.
Nice. Shout out to John Plus Ultra for the tier 1 sub there. Thank you so much, man. I'm just kind of scrolling through some more chat here. Deported Village Idiot is asking me, Brian, have you ever thought about doing a write-up on the Top Clack site for mech market best practices? That's actually on our topic list to do for the show. I should do a write-up, though.
That'd be good to read.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I probably should do that. Okay.
John Plus Ultra, thank you very much for tier 1 as well, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I can do that. It's something we were wanting to talk on the show as well. Once we changed formats, it was one of the topics we were considering. That one's definitely going to require a little bit of depth. Maybe I can get together with one of the current Mech Market mods. I'm kind of curious how they do a lot of the things now. I used to be a moderator of Mech Market many years ago, way before it was as big as it is now. And I think times were a lot more simpler there, but we used to do a lot of things manually. A lot of people didn't realize like how manual the process was for moderation on that subreddit. And I'm kind of curious to see how it is now and like how that might change or affect the way like the average consumer uses Mech Market these days. So maybe I can get caught up on their kind of internal practices and kind of help turn that into a guide, and that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be really good to see. Yeah, really good to see. Jack Static says, I think he was manufacturing techniques, but take a beat shit. I've seen what you're working on, man. I think that's pretty cool. I think I agree with you. I think there's a lot more stuff out there that we could do. And a lot more stuff out there that we don't do. But I'd like to see something happen. We should chat more, Jack. We should chat more.
Interesting. I like where this is going. All right. Monde is asking thoughts on Dalco 959 Mini. I actually love the design. I think it looks spectacular.
It's not bad looking. Full disclosure, I know Lewis, who's worked on the board. We speak fairly often. So yeah, I mean, it's a good looking board. I think it'll be just fine. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Dollinger from Lin. It seems to draw heavily from that inspiration as well. Which I actually have a polycarb Lin Dollinger as well.
P.O. says, I stopped looking for a few minutes and now Jay has flipped.
Oh yeah, so we realized this last week that how I stream my camera to Brian actually gets split somewhere in the processing between Discord or whatever. And it was actually the wrong way around. And I set up my camera to flip it round. So it was the correct way, which is this way that you see now. And then between last week's show and this week's show, I've actually changed my office around, so my desk is now in a different position. And in doing so, I changed the way I mount my camera. So instead of mounting my camera upside down, how I used to mount it, I now mount it the right way up. And therefore the image flips again. So I had to undo the change I did last week to get myself showing the right way. And I only realised halfway through, so I apologise. But it's fixed now. Now I'm looking at Brian. That's the key thing.
Yeah. See now if I can turn a little bit here, and I can pretend that we're like, we're kind of just chatting, looking into each other's eyes.
Yeah.
Stroking our beards.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how that goes. A real big boss is asking, do you guys see the 65% trend ending anytime soon? No.
Nah. People love 65%. People love arrows and a 6% together. And that 65% is a really good version.
It's the most popular layout for a reason, and I don't really see that changing because people's... Overall, I don't think people's use case for a mechanical keyboard will change very much in the near future. So I think 65% will be the big percent for a while.
65 TKLs are never going to go away. Those are always going to be the mainstay. Streaky Bison says, can someone just make stabs? Don't need tuning, please. I know a load of people working on stabs. Rama's working on his revised stab design. Jim K working on their revised stab design. I've got some stuff that's kind of coming up that I'm trying to 3D print, but I'm not going wires and I'm trying to do client mechanisms. I started this years ago, never got anywhere with it, and now I'm trying to cook. I've seen people working with mag-mounted stabilizers, which I can see having problems. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on in the stabilizer world. I think it's just again, it needs someone to just take the lead in it. But my big bet on it is remove moving parts, remove reliance on metals against plastics, and use compliant mechanisms so there's nothing scraping against each other. That's my belief of where stab should go.
Quick shout out to Deported Village Idiot with the Prime sub for 9 months. Thank you so much, man.
Nice. Top Clack baby. He's a top Clack baby. 9 months. There we go.
A couple people having babies today.
Yeah. It's that time of year, man. It's just time of year.
Moser Rides says, "Hey, Top Clack, I'm late." Nah, man,
you're right on time. Top
You're right on time.
Yeah.
Anytime you get here is the right time.
You're always just on time. Never late.
A wizard arrives precisely when he means to.
Does that mean we're wizards? You're a wizard, Brian.
Of course, yeah. We're hairy wizards.
You're
a hairy wizard.
Nice.
You get it? Okay, good.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep, I'm done. All right, let's just go ahead and move on.
Mac says, out of all keyboards, which was the most enjoyable to design, Jay? So I'm not a keyboard designer. I just have ideas, and then I get people who are far smarter than actual useful things. I really enjoy that kind of design process. So I draw a lot. I don't have a notebook. I draw a lot, and then I share those pictures with, for example, James, who's in chat, who I work with really closely. And then he makes them into actual makeable CAD file.
People with actual talent do that.
I have ideas and suggestions, and I catch things that some people miss and things like that. And I understand how the difficulties of machining happen. James is the real talent in doing CAD work. I just have the time or the energy to learn that stuff, and he does such a good job at it. But I like the process of going through it. So we will talk, we'll come list requirements. We have a whole process of how we get it. Like I give him a brief and some ideas and some drawings. He goes away and creates something. Then come back and we at a bit of a round table. We'll discuss it. We'll talk through. We'll talk about some challenges and tweaks and changes. And then that whole process ends when. That's why I enjoy it. The same with Flex when we're working on the lodestone. Like we did mini prototypes and we did kind of like breadboard stuff and we did all sorts of different back and forth, plenty of conversation. That's what I enjoy. It's kind of like the practical application. But I'm not a designer in any way, shape, or form as far as this hobby terms designer. I would class myself more as a maker or a vendor than a designer. I find people who are far more intelligent and better at that kind of thing than I am, and collect those together.
I'm probably going to butcher this username, so I'm sorry in advance, but Onheos says, I want Jay's anti-gravity wall with the keyboards on it. See, what you don't actually know is that those keyboards are on the floor, and Jay's actually on the wall. He's just mounted himself to the wall. Yeah. And then
how would they stay on the wall, right? How would they stay on the wall?
That's not how that works. That's clearly the floor, guys. Come on.
Should I make my camera so that people can
normalize your camera real quick? Yeah.
So this is how my room actually is. This is how I am. There you go.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
There we go.
put myself central. There you go. That's how my room is self-standardized. There's the floor, and then I'm on this wall.
The floor just has keyboards all over it, and Jay just, because Jay has so many keyboards, he has to keep them on the floor, because, I mean, it's not like he can put them on a wall. So what he has to do is he has to mount himself on the wall. It's actually very big brain.
Yeah.
You're almost there, Jay. One more flip.
I know.
Oh,
Ta-da!
Fantastic. Perfection. Just what I like to see. All right. Mozo Rides is asking, what's the best way, in your opinion, to become more active in the community? It kind of depends on what you mean by that. Because if you just mean, generally more active, then just talk more. Go into your forums, your Geek Hack and your RMK and your, all the other ones. I can't think of any others off the top of my head for some reason. Keep Talk, there you go. Or you can just go into Discord servers and just chat with people. That's it's just talking, like being more communicative with people in the hobby. I think is kind of what we see as active, right?
For sure, yeah. And I think it does depend on what your definition of active there is. If you want to be involved in making stuff or doing things in a different way, that's very different to being active. And I think there are so many different niches, cliques, and communities now that you kind of need to work out what you're interested in. Is it artisans? Is it Switch collecting? Is it keyboard design? Is it just general keyboard stuff in the whole? And there's very different communities for that. So it's kind of like figuring out what you want to do, and you might decide that that's 40% keyboard, so you go and join the 40% Discord server and chat with those guys, and just heads up, they're very strange. And the good guys, you just sit down and have a chat with them. It's as simple as that. Just try and become part of that community. You just decide which area you want to focus.
Yeah, regardless of what you're interested in, like within the hobby, like there's an outlet for it, and by outlet I generally mean Discord server. Because there's about 800 million Discord servers for keyboards these days, and a lot of them are highly purposed, and some of them are a little bit more general. So, kind of just depends, what you mean by active and kind of what you're into in the community. But you just dive right in, right? I mean, the community is, generally speaking, pretty nice, pretty wholesome, pretty supportive, and pretty accepting of people, which is really cool. But yeah, feel free to elaborate that if you want. Maybe we can try to give you a little bit more of a precise answer. Just trying to scroll through chat here, guys. Give me a second.
I think the next comment was from Rigid Technology. He says, "You're both awesome as always." I know. I just pulled the trigger and ordered the GMMK Pro. I think it's been asked several times before in the chat. I will ask again. What can you say will be the effects of GMMK products, especially the upcoming GMMK Pro next year? What do you think, Brian?
So, what can you say will be the effects of the GMMK products, especially? So, GMMK's approach is effectively to, kind of get into an industry. They did this with mice as well. You get into an industry and you kind of, you either design or you tweak an existing design to try to bring something more premium down to a lower price bracket for the everyman. And, it's sort of like a Robin Hood effect, depending on like how you look at it. Some people maybe not so happy about it, but that's kind of drama and opinion for another time. As far as like the GMMK Pro is concerned and like their entry into keyboards, I think the GMMK Pro is going to be pretty cool. It should be pretty good. It's not going to be like an ultra premium, like high-end custom keyboard, just based on materials and price. So I think that it'll wind up being kind of like the rest of the product line. They try to go for something that a lot of people can afford. It might be a little bit more expensive than some people are used to paying for a slightly more premium or mid-tier mechanical keyboard. It's definitely going to be more expensive than most OEM keyboards.
Sure.
But at the same time, it should be a lot nicer, and obviously, because it's a custom kit, you kind of tailor-make it to your own taste. And I think it's generally overall a good thing. I don't know how good the product is going to be. Hopefully we can get one and check one out and review. But yeah, as far as like the effects on it go, I think it's good. I think it's good to have larger companies that are outside of our hobby come into our hobby, because they will in turn bring more people in.
Yeah, and the more the hobby grows, the better. I think in some ways, like it's nice to stretch out and introduce new people to something, bring up a whole rack of new topics and new design ideas, new principles to work to, and all of that stuff. And the more people in the hobby, the easier it helps.
Yeah, unless they screw up like Razer. Yeah, I mean, for better or worse, though, Razer still brings in people to the hobby. Whether you see it or not, a lot of people will start out on a Razer keyboard. It's not uncommon at all. And, they are trying things. They are trying new designs, like I forget what they call their newest Switch design, but it's pretty wild, and a lot of people seem to actually really like it. Pros and cons, right? It's easy to say, like, oh, Razer, big, bad, mainstream company, they're gonna hurt our community, but in all actuality, not really. They bring a lot of people into the community, and that's a good thing.
Lots of comments about magnets and me being
you're a wizard, man. People talking about magic. Keep on me is saying, is that the ISO layout? And I think he was referring to when your camera was flipped, which makes it way more hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the idea of like an ISO camera layout.
just crop me in that shape, in the shape of the ISO. Yeah, why not?
Kimchi Jody Boy, rather, sorry about that, is asking, where is Lang? We had him on a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like a month ago, right? Something like that.
3 or 4 weeks ago, yeah. Lang is not a part of Top Clack. Maybe he should be. Maybe we should just always have Lang on.
Just what would be really funny? We can get camera just unmute him like a minute at a time and just let him talk just for a minute and then put him on mute again and just never let him quite know when he was able to talk or not.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like exactly what we need to be doing with him in particular.
Just to wind him up a little bit. I'm sure he'd love that. I think he'd really enjoy that.
Oh man. Did you see Razer's version of US International layout? I have not. Is it US ISO?
I have no idea. It's probably something weird. Tom's just noticed my wall. Nothing. That's the floor.
That's the floor. Yeah, that's the floor, guys.
Yeah, it's the floor.
Jay is on the wall.
Mm-hmm. This is the wall.
D-Nasty says, you're good. D-Nasty says, what I've noticed so far is that we want and like to bring in beginner, yet we are not ready to tolerate beginner questions. That's a really good point. Being in a position to where like you can support and like teach new people into the hobby can be very mentally taxing, right? And you can look at someone like Teotypes, for example. He gets an immense viewer count on his streams. He gets a lot of new people coming in, and they're asking very basic questions. And there are a couple ways to go about it, and a lot of people kind of shrug it off, like, you're stupid that you don't know that. But like, we take for granted a lot of things at the higher level of the enthusiast community. We really do, because we've learned all of this stuff along the way. We don't remember what it's like being, brand new to the hobby. The barrier of entry for this hobby right now is nuts. It's nuts. There's so much going on. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to buy. You don't know what's better than what. And so much stuff is, admittedly, basically the same. And, like, you don't really know that until you have, tried so much and gotten this far. And, again, I really do think that a lot of us take it for granted, and it's easy to just brush it off. But when I see people that have been in the hobby for a while, and they are those experienced, knowledgeable enthusiasts, and they're helping out people with these dumb, basic questions, it's nice, it's enlightening, and it's great, because that's how I learned. That's how I learned in the hobby. I asked people that knew more than me, and they were nice enough to tell me. I was fortunate. I was lucky. It was also a time when a lot less stuff was going on. I couldn't imagine entering the hobby now. It's crazy. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Tom in chat comes with a really good point. And I feel like this is kind of like an unacknowledged point as well. And he basically says that when people join the hobby in the past, they've had a really hard barrier to entry. It's taken a long time to figure out what's going on and who's who, what's what, and why's why, and all of that stuff. Which has been difficult because things are so spread out and so dispersed. And, there's so many people in the hobby now. It's been more and more difficult. So it's been an act of gatekeeping for those people without really being an act of gatekeeping. Like it's been accidental gatekeeping. And people who've been through that, they think, well, if that's the process I went through, everyone should go. And that may or may not be the right way to think about it, and that's probably we need to address. But it's really difficult to try and make everything that we know collectively as knowledge available to newcomers. Because where do you start? Like how do you start? What do you do? There's some really good wikis out there. I know we tried to do one on top ages ago and kind of really lifted off, but there's been a few attempts at that, and a lot of them have fallen into heritage issues. The only one that I know of that's been going relatively well is TKC's Keyboard University. Whatever your thoughts on TKC are, the Keyboard University is a pretty good one-stop shop for people to learn their own base. To understand what a 60%, what a 65%, what one U means when you're talking about keycap size, or 2.75. Like all of that kind of really basic stuff is there and really easily digestible. So that's a good start in that direction. But there is so much knowledge out there. There's so much different facts, and so much of it is based on opinion and preference that it's really difficult to convey that to newcomers. I don't know what the solution is. I have no idea. But we do need to find some way of encouraging businesses to try and understand those in depth, kind of.
Yeah.
To try and work out what they want to try, and it is really difficult.
Yeah, and there's kind of the flip side to it too. And like a lot of people are like, well, people should just do their research, right? Like they shouldn't be able to just come into a Discord server rather, and just ask basic questions and get immediate answers. A lot of people are kind of the mind that like you shouldn't be able to do that. You should have to do your research, but like it's all conversation. That's what the Discord servers are for. Communication. And a lot of servers, ours included, have a specific help channel specifically for that kind of thing. And I think that's totally fine. And sure, you could just Google things, and like sometimes you're gonna be answering stuff, but like Jay mentioned, there's a lot going on in the hobby, and it's not always easily accumulated. We are luckier now that we do have some wiki and wiki-esque things kind of going on, like the Keyboard University, and it might not be foolproof and complete for everything in the hobby, but like you are going to get a lot of answers there, and you can get a lot of your basic questions answered there too, which is really nice as well. There's nothing wrong. I think there's nothing wrong with coming into a Discord server and having a keyboard conversation and like asking some questions. Like that's what a lot of servers are for, and it helps drive conversation. It helps get you more opinions. My biggest pet peeve in this hobby is when someone asks a genuine question and they're met with troll answers, and the person that asking the question is brand new. They don't know any better. And people are just sitting here trolling and memeing and laughing about it. And it's like, really? Like, what if people did that to you when you came into the hobby? Like, you wouldn't have been happy about it. Absolutely. And so whenever I see people doing that, it really grinds my gears,
Yeah, Tom mentions that the Daily Clack guys did a live Q&A last week on Voice Chat, and that went well. That's a really good idea. Perhaps we should do a keyboard call at some point where we can just invite people to our Discord chat. They can ask questions, we can answer it, and we can be like the agony uncles of keyboard newcomers and awesome. Maybe that would be extreme.
Yeah. That's like the most fun I have in this hobby most of the time is just like helping new people, because like why not?
Absolutely. Like there's no reason not to help people. The only reason not to help is because you don't have the capacity to help them. But I'm sure that everyone wants to help you.
Yeah. And if you're one of those people that's just like, well, they shouldn't be spoon-fed, they should have to go do their research, well then just don't say anything. Either don't say anything or link them to where they should be researching, right? Like not everything has to have like a troll response.
For sure. Streaky Bison does say it's extremely overwhelming when you first start, but meetups starting back up will help a ton. I think so too. Like meetups where I learn about more things than I could throw a stick at. I learned about so many different types of key switch meetups that I didn't know about before. And, different keyboard layout and things. I got to try so many cool new things at the first meetup I went to. I think bringing meetups back would be a huge godsend. But of course, we have to stay safe. COVID is not, gone by any way, shape, or form anywhere in the world yet. So I think we still need to wait a little bit.
Yeah, Milzeride's saying, typically I'm a lurker in communities, so I guess just to be a part of it more, if that makes sense. I guess I just need to talk more, he says. So this is kind of a follow-up to being more active in the community. Yeah, I mean, just be as active as you want. And I think finding a spot that works for you is best, because like I've said before in previous streams, like when you enter the community, like you're gonna end up somewhere. Like you're gonna, like, maybe you came in through Teha Types and like you just spend time in his Discord server, or like you googled something and you saw like a nice GMK set that you liked and you wanted to kind of dig deeper, and you fell into Geek Hack or something. Like where you end up can kind of form your opinion of the hobby and like kind of mold you from there. So like if you can end up in places that are seemingly good or end up in places that are seemingly bad. So I think finding the place where you fit in is really important. Like some people, and I'm not claiming to be biased, but let's say you join the Clack server and maybe you really like it there, but maybe you didn't like other servers. Maybe you felt ostracized in other servers, or you got memed on in other servers for asking basic questions, which someone else just put in the chat recently. I think just finding the place that's right for you is a really big deal, and that can kind of cultivate your entire keyboard career, honestly, and how you interact with the community. There are a lot of places where I just don't feel like talking because I feel like it's pointless, and there are places where I feel like I just can't stop talking because I'm really happy about where I am. So
great. Yeah, I feel the same.
So it just depends on where you are. Unbiased shout out to our Discord server linked below. Maybe you'll like it there, or maybe you won't. Who knows? But yeah, just finding a place where you feel like you belong.
So many other places to try.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like that's kind of how most enthusiasts go these days. Like most people have like a Discord server or 2 or 3 or forum or something. And they spend like the majority of their time there. Like a lot of people they're in 100 keyboard servers, for example. Are they really active in all those? Are they talking? Are they looking at them daily? Probably not. Most of them, at least. Like, so you just got to find a place where you're comfortable. I think that's a big part.
I recently culled a number of Discord servers I just wasn't using, wasn't engaging people in, or wasn't able to chat in, or whatever. I just culled the whole raft of them because there's just too much. It was too much. It was kind of stressing out seeing them all there as well, because I knew I couldn't interact with those people. So I have just kind of left a lot of Discord servers.
Yeah, definitely.
Mr. Petrov asking what sorceries used to stick those keyboards to JJ's wall. This is the floor, Mr. Petrov. That's the floor just there, and I'm on the wall. I'm stuck on the wall.
Yeah, we went over this already.
That's the wall. This is like that corner.
Yeah, Jay's really he's really pulling out his Doctor Strange today. Oh man.
And Geo says, I started on a key Discord and I've just been lurking in DMP instead. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just don't expect everyone to reply when you DM them. Some people will want to chat and some people won't, so don't be upset or offended if people don't reply.
Yeah, and depending on who you're DMing, a lot of people get dozens, if not hundreds, of DMs a day. So it's if you're trying to message like a vendor, for example, or a designer, or someone more prolific in the community, they might just be busy and have tons and tons of PMs. So sometimes you have to wait.
Yep.
Streaking Bison says top Clack server is best server. Thanks, man. I mean, I think so, but I am biased. I think it's not perfect, and we've had some people there that don't really contribute quite as well, or even maybe more counterproductive. But I think overall it's a pretty chill place. It's not too fast. It's not too insane, and there's a lot of helpful people there, and a lot of really casual talk happens. So I think it's pretty good, but it's hard to say that without being biased, because obviously I am.
Yeah. Jackson comes out with a point. He says, fair warning, the Mekanisk Discord KB Customs channel is not where you want to be as a newcomer. Yeah, so KB Customs is very. There is a lot of really intelligent people in there. There's a lot of really knowledgeable people in there, and there's a lot of really opinionated people in there. And unless you know what you're talking about and how to interact with them, it's probably a difficult place to start off. I think there are much better areas of the Mekanisk Discord to start off in. Just standard keyboards Discord server and the channel is probably a better one in there.
And a lot of places like these, like they have their own like specific kind of atmosphere, their own specific feel. They have a lot of regulars, for example. And if you come to the top Clack server and like you see, let's say, Kakan or Mr. Petrov saying something that seems a little out there, like to people like us that spend time in the server, like it's regular, right? Like you're just used to seeing that. But if you're brand new and you see something like that, you're like, what the heck? What is going on here? What did I just step into? And, it's not exclusive to our server, of course. Every server is kind of like that. They have their own people and atmosphere where, like, absolutely, there's a specific feel that you get, And until you're kind of like feeling that as well, it might seem a little out of place.
Yeah. Muzar's coming back for the question. Says more of a question for Jay, I guess. During the hobby during the COVID period, are there many meetups in the UK? So we actually had to cancel 2 meetups. So we had. I was involved with the booking and everything else. We had a meetup planned for the back end of January. It was actually the day after my birthday, and I was super hyped because me and the wife were going to go to London and spend the day in London, spend the whole weekend in London. We took a really nice hotel, really fancy hotel for my birthday and everything else. And of course, it all got called off towards the beginning of March when it's lockdown in the UK. But we usually have 2 or 3 main meetups a year. We usually have one big meetup, which splits between 1 year it's London and the next year it's somewhere in the Midlands or up north. And then we have a bunch of splinter meetups, which would be 100 people or so. We've had those in Leeds, we've had them in Bristol, we've had them in a raft of places, one in Scotland as well. So we have them in a raft of places around the country. So they happen fairly frequently. I usually go to at least 2 per year, if not more. This year has been a big change from that. So when we cancelled the March meetup, we scheduled it again for November. Just last weekend, the 28th of November, thinking everything might be back to normal by then. It wasn't, so we had to cancel it again. Now it's being put off indefinitely, so we don't know what it will be. But we did like an online meetup. I said I couldn't attend because I was doing a charity stream with Alex Osos and Max F for Movember and men's health. But there was a whole UK meetup online. They did a series of rooms, chats, and Discords where people could go in and show their boards, show their key sets, and their collections, and they could chat to people and ask questions about it. And it was from what I understand, it was a really good time. I'm really sad I missed it, but I was kind of busy doing something else.
Yeah. It's not obviously UK exclusive, but something you could check out is the Clack Fancy Discord, because they are kind of, I guess you could say they're specializing these days in virtual meetups. They've had 2 or 3 already that have been very successful. And there's usually like some events going around it, some streams, some talks, there's usually like a beginner's corner. I was hanging out for the one of the first ones. It was awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah. I happened to be in one of the chat rooms. I got dragged onto one of the shows with who was on it now? I think the Mekanisk guys were there. Langlandia was there, and Voxkey was there. Smith and Brune, and
nice lineup of people.
Yeah, I just dragged in Lang. Like, just join the chat, and I'm going to bring you on. I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm not much hair. I'm not wearing any like clothing. It doesn't matter. Just turn your camera on. So that was really good fun. That was really good.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Zui says, "Whoa, this is some EU-friendly time that I missed." Yeah, we're kind of just testing. We're testing a different time slot, and I mean today it's been going pretty well so far. Our viewership has been pretty stable, and chat has been very active. So seems to be going pretty well. But let us know. Is this a terrible time for you guys? Is it a good time for you guys? We'll put up a poll in a couple weeks after we kind of feel it out, and we'll try to settle on a time that is obviously not for everyone because that's impossible, but for the majority. P. Buzzle is asking, I know this is a situational question due to a million things, but off the top of your head, what's your favorite / go-to plate and switch combo? Thanks for answering. So favorite...
Getting inks and carbon fiber is my favorite combination, I think. specifically in the JO1 and JO2. But yeah, I really like that combination. Carbon fiber is my favourite material, and ink's probably my favourite switch overall, I think, all things considered.
Plate and switch combo. Okay, plate, I'm going to have to go with palm, for sure. Palm plate with... I guess... I don't know, I really liked it with creams. Lubed creams. I think if so, these questions, I don't like these questions for me, because I'm not that type. I don't have, like, a favorite go-to. Like, I like variety. Anybody that knows me in this hobby knows that I like variety. I swap keyboards and stuff a lot. There's, like, nothing I could use that I would be satisfied with, like, for the rest of my life. Like, there's not, like, one combo. There's not one end-all, be-all. But if I had to pick, right now, I would say Zelios V2 on Palm, lubed. Or potentially Creams on Palm. Or Telios on Palm. So just, like, one of my 3 favorite switches and my favorite plate material. I just love Palm. Someone in chat earlier said they wanted to try Delarin, which is just Palm, right?
So kind of. So yeah, they're both forms of acetyl. Palm and Delarin are 2 slightly different versions. Delarin is actually a brand name, but it's got a slightly different chemistry. You're talking really tiny changes here. But yeah, they're both forms of acetyl, which is a type of...
Yeah.
But there are thousands of types of sticks. There are thousands. There's PTFE, PETG, and ASA, and polycarbonate. The list goes on and on. I've just interested. So for those of you, I have a laser cutter that I've recently purchased, and I've actually been cutting palm plates from friends to see if I can actually produce them in a usable format. So I've cut quite a few for friends, and I'm just waiting for their reviews to come now. But I've got a ton of different material, like 7 or 8 different materials I want to bring plates. Because there's so much out there we haven't tried community in like a mass scale. And there's certainly some that I haven't tried.
Yeah. I'm gonna butcher this username, so I'm sorry. UmuIC is asking, or saying rather, I often hear folks talking about how Geekhack is old news and Discord is where it's at. One of the things I particularly like about forums, though, is that you are able to understand the conversation from the beginning. Sometimes you enter a Discord server and they're in the middle of a conversation and it's nearly impossible to find the context of. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. You know, most of the time, like, you have to be in a Discord server for a little bit to kind of get the flow of whatever the conversation is. It's harder to just enter it and immediately be a part of it. But I mean, usually you can just scroll up a bit and kind of see what's going on.
Do you know what my biggest regret with the kind of transition of social media with the keyboard hobby from forums to live chat is, whether that be Slack or Discord or whatever it is. My big loss that I think we don't see enough anymore is build blogs. Like at one point you see so many people do a build blog. Not like a streamer, like literally a build blog. Take a photograph of every single step they took, and they would put a description of every single step they took. It wouldn't just be one sentence, it'd be a paragraph per picture. And they would explain in depth the whole thing they've done, build from end to end. And I used to love those. I'd pore over them, I'd read them, I'd study the pictures. I feel like I learned so much about the hobby from those, and no one does them anymore. I really miss them. I really miss them.
Well, that was the thing before build streams, right? Because when those were popular, like, people weren't really doing build streams. Like, Top Clack was kind of like the first like Twitch streamer for keyboards, basically. Like, there had been like kind of like some things dabbled with before, but nothing like that. And then, you know, it kind of started slowly going up from there and more people got into it. But you're right, there was a point in time where build logs were the build streams, and I even have a few of them floating out there. It's almost, you know, archaic at this point, because I mean, now you can just flip on any VOD of any streamer and, you know, or open up the makers and crafting section of Twitch, and like, you're almost always going to find a build streamer, and, you know, a lot of the times they're going to be able to answer whatever questions you have with the build. So it's, you know, it's a little bit more old school, sure, but I completely agree. I think a build log is a very personal thing, and it shows a lot of passion as well. You can tell just by, you know, the pictures that people take and the way that they write and just the amount of effort they put into it. It was heartfelt, and it was nice. 256K Labs is asking you, Jay, how much did that laser cutter set you back?
In dollars, I think it's only really cheap when it's not massively expensive. I think it was about $5,500, including all import fees and everything else. In obviously UK pounds, because I'm in the UK. But I needed a whole raft of tools around as well. Just the laser cutter, so I needed like fans and vents and all kind of other bits and pieces as well. And like a chiller as well, like a water chiller for it. And then material on top, and then it costs power to run and everything else. Yeah, I think it was about $5,000, $5,500, something all in. So it wasn't massively expensive, but it isn't like an industrial one. If what I intend to do with it works, then that one will be scrapped quite quickly, and I'll upgrade to something a lot more expensive because the one I have is great for doing odd one-offs and bits and pieces, but it's not something you do use for production stuff. Which is where I want to end up with some stuff I want to do. So for me, it's very much a learning tool about how to use a laser cutter, how to maintain a laser cutter, and how to cook different materials successfully. And just learn the whole experience. And then if that works out, and the products I want to use work well as like small batches, and then I want to industrialize that, I will then upgrade to something that's probably in the range of 40,000 to 50,000.
In the same vein, just while we're on the topic, Iowa 501 is asking, what size laser cutter did you get?
So mine is this is in centimeters, millimeters. So apologies for you imperial guys out there, but it's 750 centimeters by 650 centimeters, and then it has a Z height, vertical height of I think it's 65 centimeters.
Nice. Pio is saying, agreed, I love build logs. The Japanese mechanical community has some insane ones. Yeah, so the Japanese community is like crazy when it comes to like highly custom keyboards. Like not always in the same way that we see high-end keyboards. Like we talk about, key colts and TGRs, like it's always like, this super nice like premium metal keyboard. But in like the Japanese community, it's actually quite a bit different. They do a lot of like really custom stuff, splits, ergonomics, like very limited amounts of keys, and the designs that some of them come up with are nuts. If you've ever seen like pictures of a Tokyo meetup or some other Japanese keyboard meetup, look at the keyboards because it's unlike anything you'll ever see here in the Western community, and it's really, really cool. They're very, very creative over there.
What's the store called? Yoshikobo or something like that?
Yoshikobo, I think.
So they if you go on their website, they have a ton of like pictures of their store and everything else, and they do like a whole raft of kind of like stuff. It's really, really, really good. I'm trying to think of how you spell the name.
Yoshikobo. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I completely forgot. I want to visit that store one day. It seems really cool.
We should plan a trip to Japan, and we should go and see it. Yeah.
That'd be cool. But we could just film like our journey.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like video blog, right?
Content. Yeah, exactly. Content.
Oh, yeah. So here's an example. I'll just crap.
Whoa.
I should check that before I did it. I can't delete it either because I'm not right.
That's okay. Just hashtag live stream things.
Crap. Just Google search Yoshikobo and you'll see pictures. There's loads of great pictures out there.
Hilarious.
I should check that link before I pasted it. I just click the image.
It's fine. We all make mistakes, Jay. It's just part of life. It's just part of
it. Okay. I actually got the proper. There you go. That's the proper link. There you go. That one. There.
Jay and Brian Japan vlog. Oh man, yeah. Could you just imagine? Top Clack does Japan.
We should have done a vlog when I came to Seattle. That would have been quite fun.
We should have. Vlogs are underrated, actually. I really like a good vlog. A real big boss is asking, what linear switches do you think would go well with the upcoming 7V? Still undecided on what I want to put in mine and not sure how a leaf spring mounting system feels.
It's going to feel bouncy type is the best way I can describe it. I think linear is the right choice. Tactiles feel weird. Flickies should use like linear is definitely the right choice. For me, I think it depends on how heavy you like your switches, and that would inform the decision.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, because it's interesting, right? If you're using like a really soft or flexy kind of typing style, and you use like a really heavy switch, I feel like you get this kind of like weird feedback because of how heavy the spring is and like what it does to the plate. I don't even know how to put this into words, but like it's a very interesting feel. And I feel like you kind of get the same with tactiles, right? Which is why you don't really use tactiles on like super flexy typing experiences, because it's kind of like it works, sure, and some people might like it, but like it's a little funky for a lot of people as well, which is why I think people tend to lean towards linears and stuff like that. I'm kind of the same. If I'm doing a tactile build, I tend to like slightly stiffer plates, but when I'm doing linears, I definitely like softer.
I think
so. Yeah, I know I'm making very little sense here, but I think my preference would be as light as you're willing to go, because I think when you kind of remove some of the weight from the spring, you're going to feel the properties of the plate and the mounting style a little bit more, and I think it's going to be a little bit more gracious on the mounting experience if you use a lighter springed linear. Again, my opinion. Man, a Japan vlog. Now I'm thinking about this. This could be really cool. I've always wanted to go to Japan too. Just always wanted to.
We just need a benefactor to fund the trip. That's the trick.
Yeah. we'll be waiting for some people out there.
To Japan.
I mean,
let me see how much a flight is from my local airport to Japan.
I know I looked into it before from where I am, from around Seattle. I think it was somewhere around like $1,200 for a round trip ticket, which is a lot for me.
Okay. So I'm searching for from Manchester, which is the local biggest airport to me, to Turkey. The best price is £1,331. The average. Oh no! There's some cheap ones. So you're still searching. Okay, so there is some under £1,000, which is about the cheapest one is about $1,000 for me to get there. Which is on Qatar Airways of all airways. They could be on some Qatar Airways. But there is some really expensive ones. Like I could pay like £5,000 for it. That's kind of crazy.
Oh man. Kebab says put up a donation goal via Twitch. Oh man, I guess we could do like a subathon or something. I don't. Yeah, that's a lot of money to raise, though. That's a lot of money.
I tell you what,
those are just
we did one, and through donations or whatever else, we could fund the flight. I would pay for the hotel. That's the...
All right. Well, I guess this is happening. COVID. We'll have to wait. And see. Yeah. No. That's gonna be fun though. Shout out to Oni Grundy with the Twitch Prime for 24 months. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. With a little heart. I like the hearts. Always hearts, man.
Hearts are good.
Always send hearts. Lunar Sama says if you get tickets to Narita, it's a tad cheaper. Okay, so maybe
depends on how much you have to travel through.
Yeah, maybe
we'll have to research it properly.
Yeah, maybe we don't fly directly to Tokyo. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. We'll have to do some research.
Because Yushikawa is in Tokyo, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's in the what's
in Akihabara, right?
Akihabara or whatever.
Akihabara.
I always get it mixed up, but yeah, no, that's where it is. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be fun. Pio says he'll go with us. Okay, it's a trip.
Oh man, I need someone from the UK to go with me then.
That's true. That's true. Pio is actually local to me. He's only about an hour away. So we just both fly out of SeaTac, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Top Clack visits Tokyo. Man, that'd be cool to eventually make enough money to just be able to travel and just do vlogs just about keyboard stuff and that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Yeah. I wonder if I could convince James AKB to go with me. I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
I do actually have a friend who's in the keyboard hobby who lived in the UK and moved out to Japan.
Really?
So I'd have to hit him as well. Yeah, I'm sure he's seen all this and all.
Yeah. Jack Static says you should find a military person in Tokyo who can get you a room at the new Sano Hotel.
Prices are by rank.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Nice.
That's an interesting way for like a hotel to operate. I've never thought about something like that before.
I will be honest. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to hotels. I like a really nice hotel. If I can't get a massage there, it's not the kind of hotel I want to go. That's genuinely how I operate when it comes to hotels.
Jane goes hard. Maybe literally.
Okay. I'd have to look at it like that. When people give me hotel recommendations, I often kind of cringe a little bit. It's like, is it really why I want a hotel? Because if I'm going to a hotel, I want luxury. That's what I want. I want room service. I want mini bar. I want massages. I want a pool and a gym and a sauna. And I want really good fine quality dining. Like, I want to go to a proper nice place. If I wanted to go and just go there, I would rent somewhere, go self-catering and just rent like a villa or a house or whatever, or an apartment. Do it that way. If I'm going to a hotel, it's got to be up there. Like, it has to be up there. That's just the way I like it.
Jay needs to be treated like the king he is. I like it. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with wanting a little luxury, wanting a little class, and I mean, you know, as long as you can afford it, like, why not, right? Like, you know.
Yeah. I tend to when we go on holiday, we tend to go like self-catering and do like food shopping over there, and we'll cook over there, and we'll eat out over there. But if me and the wife go somewhere and we think, actually, you know what, we're actually going to do a hotel trip this time, I want to pick the best hotel.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a very different thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that would probably be the right way to go about it, going to somewhere like Japan for us, because it's not like we're probably going to be going to Japan a lot. So, I mean, if I'm only going there once or twice, like, potentially in my lifetime, then, like, you know, why not, right?
Jesse keeps saying it's a really nice hotel. I'll have to check it out. I'll take your word for it. I'll have to check it out. But I want a hotel trip to be something special. Like, it needs to have the whole spa experience.
Oh,
having said that,
if you and I are going together, it's gonna be special, Jay.
Oh, well, I doubt it. Someone did mention a camp hotel. Like, I would like to try it for one night, but I would make sure that I actually had the hotel room booked for the whole trip, the actual hotel room, and then I'd go and stay in the capsule for one night in the middle of that trip, so I knew I'd get good sleep around. I would definitely try it out.
Capsule hotels have always interested me. Anyways, we're kind of rolling off on a tangent now, I think we should slowly start to wrap things up here. We're going to talk about our sponsors for just a moment, and then we'll get back to answer any final questions and any final discussion before we head off. So if you guys have any questions, I mean, keep getting them in. Using the at Top Clack tag helps immensely as well. So feel free to keep talking. We're going to chat about our sponsors for just a moment, and we'll get right back to it before we head out, guys. So first and foremost here, we have the wonderful one and only Novel Keys. You probably already know them. You probably already love them. You know, one of the greatest vendors our community has ever seen for sure, and they are doing numerous new things right now. So we talked a little bit earlier about GMK Serica, the second version. That is now live right now. You can pick that up. Pretty nice. Do like that quite a bit myself. GMK Yuri is also seeing another run here, so that's live too, if that's something maybe you missed out on last time. Always a fan favorite there. Something that I'm really interested in is this NK65 Olivia edition. So this one's kind of interesting. So this one has their own version of the NK Silks. It has a new, what are they calling them? Rosettes, I believe they're called. Which is the kind of the new Novel Key Silk pre-lube switch. It's going to kind of have its own Olivia colorway. It has a 63.5 gram slow curve spring. It looks pretty nice. There's a picture of them right there. It also comes with, to my surprise actually, a DSS set. DSS colorway of Olivia, which is pretty cool. So that's all one big package. Comes with the whole board, PCB, the plate, the keycaps, the switches, cable, a carrying case, $230, pretty darn nice. I have an MK65. I like it a lot. If you're newer to the hobby, I think it's probably the best board you can get in the hobby, arguably. Like, if you're newer and you don't have a ton of money to spend, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's just pure raw value, which was also my middle name in high school. So yeah, you should consider checking that out, particularly if you're new to the hobby. And you know, maybe you're not interested in a keyboard or key set, you just want some switches or lubricants, stabilizers, switch films, desk pads. Chances are they have you covered. Novel Keys, pretty much a one-stop shop these days. Pretty freaking awesome. And if you're buying something in stock, use promo code Clack. One word, no caps. That'll get you 5% off your in-stock order.
Awesome. Moving over to our second sponsor of today, it is Kono.store. I think these guys have a ton of stuff going on, as they always do. Just a few things to call out. They've got Cat's Eye, which closes today, so that's the last chance to get on this.
Cat got your tongue, Jay?
Cat's Eye. Cat's Eye, yeah. Yeah, that's a difficult one to get out there. So definitely take a look at that if you're interested in more cat. It's a bit of a darker colorway with some bright green accents and bits and pieces. It's kind of interesting. I kind of like it. So definitely take a look at it if you're interested in that. One of my favorites that's up right now as well is GMK Alpine. Now this is a really good looking set. Genuinely, I really enjoy this set, and it has a Norda kit as well. So for all of you international folks, we're at a more EU-friendly time. There's more EU folks watching it right now. There is a Norda kit available for this set, which covers all of your language bits and pieces as well. But I really like the design inspiration behind this set. I'm a really big fan of it. I think the desk mats are great as well.
Shout out to the desk mats. Yeah, these are...
The desk mats are cool, right?
The Matterhorn and the... is it Edelweiss?
Edelweiss.
Okay, those are spectacular. I like those.
Yeah, just the colors are spot on. Yeah, it's really nice.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this is my first time looking at these. No. These are nice.
As well as that, there's a couple of other things. It's also GMK Pride's up there as well. Last day today as well. So if you're interested in joining that, please do that today. And then finally, it would be remiss of us not to call out the final thing on there, which is the Stashio Boys novelties from Tiny. These close on the 7th of November. But how cute are these little novelties that Tiny's made? They are so cute. They're so cute. I genuinely adore them. I think I'm gonna have to pick up the brass one. I really do.
Oh man, the teal aluminum one's pretty awesome actually.
They're all really good. That's the thing. They're all really good.
Yeah, Tiny's great too. Supporting Tiny is one of the best things you can do in this community because she is just fantastic. She's an OG and she's super wholesome.
Yeah. She's been doing some really good streams recently. I've been watching a few of her streams. But yeah, the little brass one I think is going to have to be the one I pick up. What's it called again? I think it's called Otto, I think. Brass one.
I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway,
go check it out.
Already got back from the page. Anyways, yes, sorry guys. So next up we have KBDfans, who has numerous things going on right now, a couple of which are quite fascinating. I've been looking at. So Beep actually has a collaboration with them, 2 of them in fact, coming out soon, a keyboard and a key set. The keyboard is called Boop, which I think is just fantastic. And I was looking over it, it looks pretty darn interesting. So looking forward to that. So that's coming up soon. Make sure you check that out when it does. I know I will be. As well as a key set alongside it. So this is Wraith Dark, Enjoy PBT Wraith Dark. So this is kind of an interesting one as well. Maybe not for everyone, but certainly kind of an obscure key set that I'm kind of a fan of because I like weird shit like that. So definitely check those out, and maybe if you're not a fan of those, they have lots of other things. This is one of the bigger stores in the keyboard community. They have pretty much anything you can think of: switches, stabilizers, lube, PCBs, cases, across all various sizes and formats. It's a great place to be if you're newer to the hobby in particular. I know we have a lot of newer viewers today. So, you know, if you don't have a ton of money to spend, but you want something still pretty decent, this is a really good place to look. You can kind of get something pretty nice entry level without breaking the bank. And sometimes you can score in the B stock market too. There's not always stuff in there, but when there is, it often goes really quickly. So keep an eye on that.
There's some really good stuff in there. On occasion, like if you just check it at the right time, you can sometimes get.
You gotta get lucky. Sometimes you gotta get lucky.
Yeah. Moving over to our final sponsors today, it is the wonderful Leandrin at Mekanisk.com. So Leandrin is famous for doing a ton of different boards. The Clipper, the Fiel. You know, he's done these boards for a long time now. But there's a few things we wanted to call out from his store as well. So the WT60D PCBs are back in stock. You can pick one of those up. That's in ultramarine colorway. WT60D Wilbur designed PCB. That's quite possibly my favorite PCB on the market right now.
It's currently mine.
It's just a really, really good one. Flex cuts, ISO support, ANSI support,
USB-C,
a couple of bottom array options. It's just a really solid PCB. It's great. So definitely check those out if you're interested. As well as that, he's also got the new plates for his tray mount cases for the E-Ultra Hot and E-Ultra Marine boards as well. So you can pick up those plates. There's a raft of different ones depending on what you want, all that kind of stuff. So you can see all the options there that you can click through and select what you like. And as well as that, they've also got the new Duroc Ultramarine stabilizers and the Ultramarine switches, and the Mekanisk Katakana desk mat is coming this month as well. So Ultramarine switches and the desk mat coming this month, so you'll be able to get them this month as well. So Brian, I don't know if you tried out your Ultramarine switches, but I was pleasantly surprised with them. I put them in my i180 and I was kind of surprised that them. They're good.
Yeah, my most recent build stream actually featured these. I built up an Ultramarine Clippa, one of the newer ones, with the forward post, with the removable center post, and I used these switches as well. They come pre-lubed. It was nice. I liked it quite a bit. They definitely feel great. I like that they're a bit thinner on the lube. It's a thinner consistency versus something like 205 grade 0, which can feel a bit gummy, in my opinion. So yeah, was definitely very pleased with those. They felt great. Anyways, back to the chat, guys. Where are we at? I have to do a little scrolling here. Depleted Vespine says, whenever I go to USA, I'm happy to get a Motel 6 room.
What's Motel 6? Like
it's
side of the road jobbies?
Yeah, it's like your bottom of the road, or the bottom of the pack, like motel, I guess. It's not usually a good indication. It's where you stay there if you have no other place to stay.
Right. Okay.
Capsules are good for naps. I've always been fascinated in the capsules, honestly.
I think I wanted to be able to say that I had done it. But I'm not sure I want to spend more than one night on one.
I'm like a fairly large person as well, so it's like I don't really know like how they'd work for someone like me. But I'm always interested. NYC Jesse says, well, that's a great deal for 230. Oh, okay, he's referring to the NK65.
NK65.
Yeah, man, NK65 is banging. Especially if you get like one of the entry-level ones, like they're just so cheap. P.O. says, I really wish DSS Olivia were a real kit versus a pre-made layout just for the NK65. Yeah, I think some people are upset with that. It's kind of unfortunate, but like maybe we'll see that in the future.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Nice.
I mean, I know they said they're not releasing it simultaneously, but like maybe there's still a plan to do it later on. Yeah, I don't know if anything has been said like one way or another, you know. I regret having gotten the milkshake edition. I can't justify more NK65s. I mean, you could always
milkshake edition's good.
Yeah, you could always just sell the milkshake edition and get the Olivia one if you prefer, right? I mean, they hold their value very well. Worst case scenario, you'll get your money back. So it's almost like a straight trade. GMK Alpine, yes, Alpine does look pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a really good set.
They teased the new NK65 colors on Insta the other day. Really nice. I believe it.
Yeah, so that. There's a lot of new colors. I think they have gold coming and like a lava colored one, and all sorts. Yeah, some really good stuff. But we knew when they started releasing NK65 they were going to come in RAF colors.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. There's already people out there that collecting them all. Would not surprise me.
That board is even more successful than I was expecting, and I thought it was going to be very successful. And I feel like it's surpassed that. The fact that he can just like sell out of them like instantly, like every time he stocks, is just like wondrous to the community. It goes to show you like how many people actually appreciate like really good value. And as far as like, I mean, it's easy to get lost in all your key cults and TGRs and like, you know, your $400 to $800 class keyboards, like, because they're amazing most of the time, like they really are. But like, what's even more amazing is if you can get a really good typing experience for like the price point that the NK65 offers. because that's what a lot more people can afford. I know it seems like everyone's buying, you know, key colts and TGRs, and there sure are a lot of people doing it, but you know, that's not your everyman caliber of board, right? Like the NK65 is something that most people coming into the hobby can pick up, especially, you know, if the entry editions are available, because those are like under $100, right? They're like $95. Pick up some cheap Gatorons, you pick up a cheap key set, and you know, all of a sudden you've spent, you know, $140 or whatever, like, which is comparable to like an OEM keyboard, and you have a way nicer keyboard than any other OEM keyboard. All right, guys.
I think
we've fully caught up on chat. That happened. Oh man. Well, I guess that's a good time to close it out. We've gone over 2 hours, which is fine. But you know, that's just how it goes. Do you have any closing thoughts, Jay, for today's stream?
Come check out the build stream on Sunday, so that'll be the usual time, back to normal slot this week, so 8 PM on Sunday UK time, which is about noon Pacific time, or 3 PM Eastern time if you're in the States. Because I'm building a SCOG, the new SCOG group, the Percent Studios that you want to check out. I'm going to give it away at some point. I'm not going to give it away straight after the stream, because I want to use it for a little bit and get used to it and try it out a little bit more. But at some point, probably early in the year, January time, whatever I build on stream, I'll give it away. So I'm going to build it ANSI because I know that most people want it that way, and then I'll give it away at some point in the new year. But I'm pretty excited to try it out. It's a prototype. It's even labeled as prototype as well. So yeah, really excited to try and build that and see how it goes. We're going to try the Bluetooth out because Bluetooth supports our battery specifically. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for that.
Nice. I have a couple upcoming build streams as well. I have an ogre that I'm going to be building in the near future that actually might arrive today. So a stream on that in the near future. I also have my my Heine TKL1 that should be arriving in the next couple weeks if all things go as planned. And I think are Profits shipping this month?
Pass, don't know, I'm not sure.
Pass. Okay, I could be wrong, so I'm going to chat off. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the Profit group buy ships this month as well. So if it does, you know, I'll have that to build as well. So several things incoming. So it's just a matter of when they arrive, and then I can build. But yeah, it's definitely lots of upcoming build streams. If you join the Discord server, you'll be notified pretty frequently when we're doing our streams. So definitely consider that. We should pick someone to raid as well.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Take a quick look to see who's on.
Yeah. Don't think anyone who does keyboard content is on.
No way. There's no way nobody is streaming. There's no way it's just us.
There's no one that we follow that's streaming. Right?
Makers and crafting. Are there really no keyboard streamers on right now? I feel like this is a first.
I'm looking through crafting right now. But Jintei is live.
Oh,
okay. He's building a KN 2.10.
Mekanisk is also live. I'm not sure who either of these people are, but hopefully we're rating some good wholesome people.
I can't see anyone else who's doing keyboard stuff live.
Yeah, I see two viewers or two people, Jintei and Mekanisk. Maybe we should go with Mekanisk. He has a much lower viewer count. And it's always nice to
let's do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. I have no idea who this person is, but hopefully we'll get some wholesomeness out of this. So we're gonna go ahead and raid, guys, and when we get over there, we'll say something wholesome. You can even just say something wholesome. And that's fine.
Just the word.
Something or a smiley face or a heart. These tiny gestures and words that go a long way in our community, especially in a world as chaotic as ours is right now, and so many people struggling from mental health issues. You know, just have some compassion, be kind to people, and you know, spread some love. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the stream as much as we did. It was a good stream today. I actually had a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Come join our Discord server, link below. Subscribe to our YouTube. VODs get posted there after the fact. And yeah, hopefully you have a great rest of your day or night, I guess, since we're kind of at a different time now. Alright, guys, we're starting the raid. Let's get over there and say something wholesome.
See you later, guys.
Yeah, have a good one, everyone.